Hello, everybody. This is Just in Case from American Newscape, joining our friend and media personality Jerry Maldonado back for another installment of American Mentoring. Hello, Jerry. You're back from the dead, so to speak.
Yeah. I don't know if it was 10 days of sleep, I guess, if you want to call it, man. But all is good. All is
Okay.
good.
Well,
It was due time. I was going to catch something. We all do.
oh, exactly. It's that time of year. So, we're glad you're back, Jerry, and we're glad you elected to survive. But hey, this week we're talking about new beginnings. New beginnings. So, what's happening when it comes to new beginnings?
Yeah, this is. I don't give out information without test driving the car, man. So I actually use this on a devastating breakup that I had. And really, a lot of people can relate to being in relationships where it didn't work out and you had all these expectations and everything else, and all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. And this can be related to anything, job or whatever, money, whatever it might be. The problem with those experiences is they get anchored. They get anchored and they go in your subconscious mind. And I got good news and I got bad news. The bad news I'll start with in the beginning is the fact you're never going away. The good news is the fact that you can control them.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's an interesting concept. New beginnings for me are every moment. I mean, every day is a new beginning. I mean, every opportunity is a new beginning. And you're exactly right. Things that stagnate our lives or alter our lives or damage our psyche, that's just another opportunity for a new beginning.
Yeah, fantastic point. Absolutely. I mean, we have these visions that we actually create the vision, but they don't work out, and they put a big hole in the heart. And for me, I knew that after a year of dwelling on it, literally dwelling on it, thinking about it constantly in a bad way, I had to really go down to the core of why I was feeling the way I was feeling. A lot of people don't realize we're creatures of habit. And we all know this, but we're also creatures of our thinking habits as well. And your outside world is going to trigger those inside thoughts all over again. So the best thing you can do for a new beginning, or you're on this path of transformation, is don't do the same thing you do every day. This is what people fail to realize. They don't realize the five senses, the see, hear, smell, taste, touch, is always there. It's always there to remind you of where you've been. And if you can create a new habit, habits, plural per se, of your everyday activities, you create neural pathways that which hence create new thinking. Indeed, the experience goes back into the vault. Yeah, it pops out here and there. But when you see things differently in life, a different outside, a different environment, your inside world is going to start responding to that.
Well, I agree with you, Jerry. And, lots of these setbacks that we have, it's almost like we've been hoodwinked. We've wanted to
Yeah.
believe in a whether it's a false deity or whatever that is, and we find ourselves in a quagmire. And you talk about there's a lot of people out there they'll get, let's just say they get in a relationship or they get in a job and they take the path of least resistance and then they just stagnate there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's old. That's old thinking, old concepts, old values, old beliefs, all kicking in of insecurities that we all have.
Yeah.
We're all encumbered by these little, we all niggle at little things in life that keep kind of gnawing at us like a gnat. But all I'm saying is for what helped me as a whole and to really transform a lot of things was just changing my pattern of my physical reality of what I was doing every day, whether it's a drive to work or what time I got up or when I made my coffee. I didn't do things the same way. And when you start seeing things differently, you start thinking differently. If you turn down a different street, you're going to see different homes. Therefore, you're going to start thinking differently. You're not going to be in the same thought process because your mind is looking for the easiest thing, the most comfortable thing. I hate to say it. And if pain has become your life, it's become the familiarity of your life. and you're going to keep going back there because it's comfortable. I hate to say that, but it's basically how we act as people. When you change your thought process through via your outside world, you change your life process.
Well, Jerry, the biggest transformation I've seen in you is you've become a remarkably positive person.
Me?
You,
I,
you.
I try. No, I'm kidding. Indeed. No, you see me from the cellar to where I am now. And I like to use Victoria, my daughter, who moved in here, 2 months ago into the loft with me here. Um, and mind you, I don't preach to my kids. I think I told you before. I don't say nothing. They don't even watch my shows, man. Maybe it's a gene. I have no idea. But this girl literally has transformed herself from one way to another way via the environment that she's in now. New job, new home, new way of getting up, new way of sleeping, new way of eating. Everything has changed, and her whole thought process has changed. Whereas before, every week, Victoria, how you doing? Oh, I go to the doctor's today. I go to the doctor's tomorrow. It was constant pain, constant struggle, constant depression. All she did was change her environment, and
Well,
I didn't had nothing to. I didn't say nothing about it. She did it all herself. And this is what people have to realize: if you're living in the same environment, you can't. It's almost impossible to change your thinking.
well, and she did create it for herself, and that transformation for Victoria took courage. And when given the opportunity, she took the positive steps she needed to.
And this is how simple it is. And it's such a natural process. You give yourself a new beginning, not a partial beginning. No, but you jump into the pool. You don't put a toe in, man. You put the whole process in. Your life is going to turn around completely because you're thinking differently. And if thoughts are things, that's a starting process. And all you have to do is change your five senses around you to anchor that and start all over again. Yeah, indeed, you're going to smell a smell or hear a song that's going to bring you back, but they're not going to have the devastating feelings that took me a year to figure out what she did in 2 months.
Well, an example of that is getting into a cold swimming environment. If you tiptoe into that cold water, that pain lasts quite a while.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I forgot to mention. I don't mean to interrupt. That she was violently raped too, by the way.
Oh, jeez,
And
jeez.
and yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. This is what people who are recovering. It's like people who are recovering addicts. They go right back to the same place they used to do the drug from. They wonder why they came back to it. It's the same thing with anything in life. You don't go back to what you're trying to get away from. And people have a hard time understanding this. If you can't leave your environment, then change it, paint it, change the furniture, do anything you can because you're going to change that whole process of thinking just by the new senses that are reacting.
A good friend of mine who's a transformational speaker, he likes to say, flip the switch. Just flip the
Yes,
switch.
yes, indeed. And jump right in, and people do it on a partial level. Yeah, they might write in their journal at a certain time, but they're still going to the same coffee shop that creates the same smell that brings it back when them and their girlfriend were there 5 years ago. So it's a radical way of feeling better that if people can grasp this, it's really going to transform them and they won't even realize it until it's already done. It's such a natural process.
The cliche we hear all the time, and it's not overused, is today is the first day of the rest of my life, and that's that transformation. That's that flipping the switch, and you know,
Yeah, the verbiage starts it. Yeah, the verbiage starts it. Your voice is what you're thinking inside. Indeed, yeah. That's what I mean. I mean, change everything. If you can compile an inventory of your daily routine, you'd be surprised of the mundane life that you're creating from it. And a lot of people are afraid to find out the truth. I was, believe me. Then I realized, Meatball, what are you doing? You're doing the same thing that you were doing when she was around, and vice versa. You wonder why you're feeling the way you feel. Yeah, you can act the part, but after a few minutes, you go back to the reality that you've lived in for 5 or 6 years before that.
Yeah, and we're not talking about necessarily a dramatic change in your environment. It's just a healthy step forward.
Yes, yes.
It's, and maybe, Jerry, you and I are blessed because we do perceive the world that way as an opportunity. And we really don't wallow in the mud or wallow in our sorrows. There's no point to it. There's nothing constructive about that.
Well, something that me and you do, or sorry, you and I do, is self-reflection.
Yes.
And a lot of people out there are afraid to do that. You look in that mirror and you ask yourself the poignant questions, you're going to get some poignant answers. And when people reach that realization about themselves and realize, yeah, we do have flaws, and yeah, I kind of get crazy about this and that, but what am I going to do about it? Am I going to live this way for the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? In essence, create bad energy and diseases I don't want and chronic illnesses, because all that can only transpire from that. You live in pain, you can only can create more pain. You live in a toxic environment, you only create more toxicity. A tonic environment, you're going to create tonic results.
And people, when they take that moment, that face in the mirror, what they have imagined as a flaw may not be. I mean, if they objectively look at themselves and where they are and what they're doing.
Yeah, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Wow.
You start looking at yourself in a better light. Dr. Wayne Dyer said that. For the record, amazing teacher, and he's the one that taught me to live in the moment. And we don't attract what we want; we attract who we are. So if you're constantly living in pain, you're constantly living in the past, you're constantly living in the feelings of chronic illnesses and scarcity and fear, you can only attract that by radically changing, however you guys do it, how radically changing your outside world, your inside world is going to start conforming to fit that with emotions, and your five senses are going to start attracting to you what you want.
Well, yeah, it's pretty simple for people to compound their miseries, so to speak. So,
Oh,
it becomes a mountain.
good point.
But it really doesn't
Yes.
have to. I mean, it's baby steps. It's being objective, being proud of yourself, and
No
living in
matter
the
what.
living in the moment's what you and I do. And I think it's the only way you can be constructive moving forward.
I mean, seriously, I've been bankrupt. I've lost everything two or three times. I live in motels. I've lost everything, foreclosed on homes. I mean, come on. We've all been there, done that in some way. You're not a failure. You just learn a little differently. And you got to look in the mirror every day and realize the uniqueness that you are, and that you have something inside of you just waiting to come out. But it can't come out because you're mired in this brain fog, like I was for the past 2 weeks, literally a brain fog of a life that you don't want to relive again, but you keep redoing it because you keep thinking about it.
Okay. Well, what did you dwell on while you were sick?
What I dwell on,
Yeah.
it friggin' hurt. I mean, right here, the pounding and the nasal passages. But it was just, and it's funny. I kept waking up and I kept seeing the My Pillow commercial. I'm like, I got it.
Well,
But no, it wasn't that. It was more of a nuisance.
yes.
But I respect it. I was like, okay, you got me. I'm going to chill for a little while. It
Nice.
ended up to be what, 9 days.
Well, yeah, it's part of the process. I mean, it's part of the process of living on this side of the
Oh, you got
grass.
sick, yeah, yeah. You
Well,
got sick, and nothing you could do. You just had to let it take its course.
right, exactly. And
You know what I mean?
it's good advice for everybody. We need to deal with these things and do the best we can to get our immune systems up and get back after it. But
And better thinking. Here I am. I literally act the part every day. But things happen. You're going to get sick once in a while. Things are going to happen. It doesn't mean you have to step back, let yourself heal, and come back to earth, man.
and if people are taking care of you, be a good patient.
Yes, Victoria's awesome. She's cleaning the house now and everything else, man. It's great. Before She's like disinfecting everything, and it smells like bleach for like 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, I just visualize you coughing every time she's around, so she feels the need to take care of you.
Yeah, it was just more. It was like the phlegmy thing. Who the hell knows? But yeah, it was. But no, it was fine. But it's the new beginning in your life is your decision to do it. You know what I mean? And once people make that choice and they take an inventory, create some kind of plan with whatever they're trying to do in life, get a self assessment of why you're being held back and what you're trying to have being do. The revelation that they say in scripture, revelation is everywhere. It's just you realizing who you are.
Yeah, and being the best you possible.
Indeed.
Jerry, we've got a big holiday coming up here, and
But what
I
are we
would
selling? What are we selling now? I'm kidding. I'm
we're,
kidding.
we're not selling anything. I just I want to take a moment to reflect on our audience, how much we appreciate them coming by, and hopefully they've gotten a few tidbits out of us over this last year.
The opportunity you've given me with American Newscape has exploded my YouTube channel with views, and I can't thank your subscribers enough for that. And here I am. I'm just sharing information, being my crazy self, and attracting some beautiful things and situations and opportunities like yourself into my life every day. I mean, if people took that same kind of gratitude about their own lives and realize how special they are, and they have something to give, they call about servitude in life. If you can give your gift or whatever gift you've been given as far as your purpose goes, life is going to reward you. The reciprocity is endless.
No, absolutely. And I think what we've learned, you and I have learned in the last year, is some people put up with us, and I think we grow on people. I think we actually grow on people. I can't
Yeah,
imagine
we're
just
like the fun.
yeah, I can't imagine popping into episode 40 and wondering who the heck are these people?
Episode 40, thousands of views. I mean, whatever, compiled over the last 40 some odd episodes. Um, to me, I'm in awe because, for guys like you and I are sitting at a coffee table, basically enjoying an adult beverage or a cup of coffee for me and talking about life in our way and people are responding to it.
Yeah,
It's a blessing, man.
yeah, it's validating. I mean, it's why we do it.
That's right. It's our gift showing our gift so they can open their own present, their own gift, their own purpose in life.
Well, Jerry, the gift I give to you this week is I know you always want to have the last word. So why don't you go ahead and lay it on us? And if I can tolerate it, I'll let you keep it.
I know you won't edit it out.
Well, no, I won't. I won't put the last
I'm
word
kidding. I'm
after you.
kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
know.
I'm kidding. Everybody has something to offer. Everybody has something to give in this life. I wish people can grasp the fact that all you have to do is create a new set of habits because those new habits are going to create new thoughts, which are going to create new things.
Wow, wow, pretty profound. And everybody,
Tersely put, huh?
yeah, tersely. And after we're done, I'm going to go look up what tersely means specifically. All right,
Short, simple, just like me.
to the point. Yeah.
Indeed.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Hey, everybody. This has been Justin Case and Jerry Maldonado bringing you American Mentoring. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links are provided in this video as read more. Today is the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.